not a person to interview. I don't like to play interviews. But I'm stuck under a game of ignorance. I'm stuck under little brain people. I've been 20 years in handcuffs. If that makes any sense to anybody in this world, you know, 20 years in handcuffs, you know, so he can play daddy, you know, to you. I mean, you know, get off that trip, you know, get up off of me.
That was my introduction to Charles Manson. Right off the bat, he was menacing, intimidating. He acted like a real hardened criminal. But then, he sat down and tried to dispel what he called some of the old Manson myths.
I'm not of the 60s. I'm not a generation of the 60s. The 60s were little kids to me. The Beatles were like punk rock is to you. That's what the Beatles was to me. They were, you know, that's not my era. My era was Bing Crosby. I'm 53 years old. I'm not a teeny bopper.
But boys and girls in their teens were the ones most drawn to Manson.
All the kids, they would come to me and say, we got no place to go. And I'd say, well, I got no place to go. You know, so they were throwaway kids, and I was a throwaway kid.
What do you think it is about you that attracts people to you, that made them follow you?
The music.
Just the music?
I sing like that. Yeah. Kind of put you on center, huh?
Well, it's loud.
Yeah, I sing loud. I sing real loud.
It grabs your attention.
It does. It does. It kind of reaches in there and breaks all the pattern in your brain.
As you can see, Manson is sort of a showman, like when he tried to, as he puts it, take me to a higher level. Or when I again asked him to define his unique charm.
What do you think it is about you that makes people want to be a part of whatever it is you're a part of?
I'm brand new. Everything I do is always brand new. I'm on the premise of reality. I walk a real road. I'm a real person inside. I'm not a phony. I don't put on no airs. I say what I think. You see what I'm saying?
Aren't you putting on an air now? Aren't you putting on an act for me?
When you look it back, see if it's an air. See if where you get it. And someone sees it and goes by and they say, hey, how you doing? I say, pretty good. How you be?
But later he admitted it's all an act.
What isn't? The only thing that isn't an act is when someone gets killed. And then it isn't an act because people's fear sees it as being real. So if the people in the underworld are knocking people down in the streets and breaking their jaws, maybe it's the people in the underworld that want you to see that I am very real and I am on this planet Earth.
When Manson wasn't threatening or yelling, he was denying any responsibility for the Sharon Tate murders.
Do you have any remorse at all for anything that has happened?
How am I going to feel remorse? What am I supposed to feel remorse about? Everyone says, you feel no remorse. I said, can't you understand I'm not guilty of anything? Is the Beatles responsible? I play music. People are affected by the music I play. That doesn't mean that I directed traffic, that I put a knife in someone's hand and tell them go kill somebody. I'm not that stupid, man. Do I look like I'm that stupid? Do I communicate like I'm that? I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. I wasn't there. I was in San Diego in bed with some broad I'd met in Big Sur. You drugged me up down hallways. You set my head on every chopping block in the state of California. You poisoned me. You've done everything. I puked blood for months and days, man. You've done everything you could do to get me killed, and then you turn around and ask me, do I have any remorse? If I have the right to do to you what you've been doing to me, then that gives me the right to do anything I want to, anyone I want to do it to. Can you see now?
What I saw is that Manson seems to justify almost any action taken to further his cause, an environmental movement he calls ATWA.
How do you communicate to a whole group of people? You stand up and you take the worst fear symbol there is and say, there, now I've got your fear. Now I've got your fear. And your fear is your power, and your power is your control. I'm your king of this whole planet. I'm going to rule this whole world through ATWA. All I care about is my air, my water, my trees, and my wildlife. And you humans, if you don't get in line with that, Goodbye.
Sounds a little threatening? Well, it's lines like that that have landed Charlie in the most secure part of San Quentin, which is already a maximum security prison, the place they put the most dangerous criminals. But was war on pollution really at the root of the Manson murders?
Does that goal justify any means?
I don't justify or not justify. I lay it out there. What people do with it's their business. If they decide to run up and kill Sharon Tate, that's on them.
Do you ever expect to get out of here?
Do I ever expect to get in there? That's up to you whether I get in there or not. As far as getting out, I'm out. You're in. You're backwards. You're upside down.
People say you're mad.
Yeah, I am. The world of madness is a lot bigger than the world of sane. Sanity's a little box that you walk around. Sanity's a little world. Insanity's the universe.
People are afraid of you. Should people be afraid of you getting out of prison?
Many people are afraid, and they need something to put it on.
Should they be afraid of you?
I am. I'm the Pope. I'm 10 times the Pope. I'm 50 times the Pope. But I'm the Pope in the hills and in the mountains. I'm already out of here. This enclosure here, I'm out of here. My body is stuck here, but my thought is already gone.
So who is this man who calls himself the Pope? Can he simply be ignored? Or does he, in some strange and frightening way, make sense to his followers and perhaps to others?
You know, everybody's got something to blame because they don't want to look inside themselves.
What do you see when you look inside yourself?
Inside myself, I see everything. I see all. I see the good, the bad, the evil. I see the whole thing.
How much evil is there?
As much as you see.
What do you see?
All of it. Right down the peaks you haven't touched yet. Dreams you haven't dreamed. And worlds you haven't conquered. The mind is endless. You put me in a dark, solitary cell. And to you, that's the end. To me, it's the beginning. It's a universe in there. There's a world in there. I'm free.